Okay, so these are the parents' responsibilities. So empowering the children is our responsibility. To empower the children, all we need to do is give the right food, right knowledge, right thoughts, and good attitude. So these are the key aspects we need to focus. This all comes from the lifestyle. That is why it is important. Again, I'm emphasizing on cultivating the good lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle in every house. That's why I always wish everyone have a healthy, happy and harmonious, the 3H family lifestyle. So making them more confident. So for every children, what we need to focus on is more confident, give them, remove their inner fears and give them the more confidence, make them more self-confident and more self-reliant, so that they can manage themselves. Even from early stage, they should be able to slowly pick up their works. Do not do every work by yourself and feeding and all this dressing. Let them start doing themselves. Let them start also working with you in your kitchen and then everywhere. Just allow them. And self-discipline, it's basically when you have a very good discipline, they will also learn the discipline. And when you have a more control, the more self-control in the sense, the away from the cravings. You should be able to have a stable mind and then maintain the stability in your diet. And having a diet, not only the control on the tongue, but control of the senses and the control of the mind. That's the self-control. And this self-control is developed only with the practice. The mind is so powerful and the senses are powerful. It's very, very difficult for you to get the control over. That is why the practice sadhana is very important to get these key aspects. Self-confidence, self-reliance, self-discipline and self-control, these will come only through the practice. So when we practice, automatically our children will pick up. So do not lose these 4 aspects from your life, and also do not forget to give this to the child. And again, the values also, it is something like every day reading a story for them with the good values. And before actually reading the story, you practice that moral, what the value you have in the story, follow that, and then once you follow that wholeheartedly, you are able to read the story. And you cannot outsource this work, because this is something which you share the love. So you outsource in the sense, sometimes you just put it in the TV and the cartoons and things like that. That's not story. Story is something you are telling yourself. That's where your emotions and you are sharing your love, everything through the story. Story reading is very important. That you must do as far as the family time in the evening. So there must be a story time in the evening. So not to impact children with any wrong habits. So the high priority for us is to is our children, to give the all these important things for the children. So whatever you have the preferences, whatever you have the likes and dislikes, do not spoil them with those things. All your likes and dislikes you must sacrifice for the children's sake. That is our responsibility. We cannot ignore that. Initially you may feel difficulty, but because our responsibility is there, we must do that. And allow children to naturally learn without enforcement. Do not enforce. Allow children to learn. So when you are, for example, when you are saying, okay, children to do the homework and you do some study, you also sit and read with them. If you are watching TV and you ask them to study, they don't do that. It's not correct. So naturally, what they learn is from you. So and at the same time, allow children to learn from the nature as well. Naturally, they will pick up so many skills, and by observation they learn. And so teach them, just to give them the opportunity to explore and understand with the observation. And many children, they're losing the observation now because of the gadgets and the distractions. That is why please do not distract them with all these the electronics and other things. So try to keep all these electronic things away, and then just focus on the broader view and observation. You learn so much from the people interaction, and you learn so much. They learn so much from the nature outside. So the observation that many children, they lost. They don't know what's happening around, but they always focus on these things because they haven't learned. So that is why in the early stage, please do not make them to get addicted to these gadgets, and keep them away, and try to you also observe, and then you teach them initially. Yes, see the tree and see the birds, the things like that. Slowly they start observing, and then that happens. For example, in our childhood days, if you remember, our mother used to show us, hey moon, there. So moon. So they will sing Chandamama Rave, Jabilli, something like that. They will sing a rhyme, and then they used to feed us. So that way, see how beautifully they have given a love and the care, and they have taught us. At the same time, they have also taught us to observe the nature. So now what you are teaching is just outsourcing. You're just putting a telly and then try to feed them. So that means what they understand is only they observing on the screen. They do not do anything else. So that is why do not underestimate the nature. The nature is everything. So they teach them the natural things, and try to give them more exposure to the nature. Even trees. They do not know what the trees are.
What did you do that for?
Sorry? The question?
I'm sorry, I just got unmuted.
Okay, thanks. So any questions so far? So anything else you think your parents' responsibility? Anyone? Can you think of any other things you think it's your responsibility? Then we'll go for the next. What we are not responsible for. So we have discussed few things. What we are responsible for. Am I missing anything? Deepa?
Freedom with guidance.
Sorry?
Freedom with guidance.
Freedom and the guidance. Yes, that's very good.
The freedom which needs to be given, but not a total freedom. That
okay.
Freedom should always be laced with guidance.
With guidance, yeah. Freedom with the monitoring, yes. Freedom with the CC camera. And resilience, yeah. Okay. Good point. Yes. We always need to have keep an eye. This it's very important point. Thanks, Deepa. It's very good. Any other points you want to share? Yeah.
Allowing free movement. Like the movement of a child and the formative age should not be curtailed, so that is also a part of the development, just like the emotional, all the other things.
Correct. And the emotions, the negative emotions at the moment when you are saying the emotional things, when you are giving the freedom, the many parents, they feel so fearful. That fear has to be removed. So what you are giving in that mode, by making them more afraid, basically you are giving the fear to them. You are teaching the fear. So that is why leaving the fear and having a that confidence is very important. So any other points from anyone? Okay. What we are not responsible for. Maybe you can add few points on it. Can you think of what we are not responsible for? Anything, think about it, what we are not responsible for our children. For the discussion's sake, what do you think you are not? Sorry?
Not to take them to the party.
Yes, yeah. So giving them the parties, yes. Yes, definitely. That's a very important point. Thanks, Kalyan.
And taking them to, giving them gifts or buying gifts.
Buying the gifts, yes, yeah, buying the gifts which are yes, as an appreciation. Okay, so here the gifts, anything free, is really dangerous. And I'll share one experience on it. Especially in ashram, when I'm handling the children with the different age groups, whatever the age it is, anything you give free, that has no value and then it spoils the children. So that is why anything, even dress or anything, you should keep the limited dresses, limited clothes, limited the items for the learning, and everything must have the purpose. You cannot just someone has bought this one, I will also buy. Don't compare that. Don't give such kind of exposure. No gifts unnecessarily. Give the freedom, and also make them aware, understand value of your hard work, and value of the money, and value of your of the mother and father. So if you are keep on doing this, the culture of taking them to parties and giving them to the wrong foods, etc., what they are learning is irresponsibility, not the responsibility. That is basically because the parents are giving this kind of an exposure. It's a wrong exposure. Whatever we are not responsible, sometimes you end up doing it. That makes them to getting into the irresponsible behavior. Yeah, so that is why when you are giving something free, something to anyone, not only here, anyone, even for charity things also, you must make people to understand the value of it, and for that you need to have a certain things. For example, earlier for poor children we used to have a books distribution program. So earlier we used to have a books distribution generally. Now we have the books distribution program with the proper learning. So when they take the books, they must go through a course, Sanskar Vidya. So Sanskar Vidya is the key priority. So then they will okay, once they have complete the course, they get the books. So that way, for getting the notebooks also, they are doing some hard work. So they must understand, to get anything we must work. We should not take anything free from anyone. These are the key values we must teach. Similarly, we must follow the same principles. So giving the taking the gifts and giving the return gifts, all this is you must also teach them the value of the environment, mother nature. Now the toys and plastics are spoiling environment. We must be responsible. So these kind of the key skills things also we must teach. So these parties and the giving the gifts, both important points, which are basically the children behavioral change happens, and also the health change happens, because our objective is giving the right attitude and good health to children, But because we are doing the against that, and they are learning they are getting from the parties and the gifts, what they are getting is wrong attitude and bad health. So that is, we are not responsible. Any other things you can think about it? Apart from those two?
Movies, TV. Just
Of course, giving them all these exposures is not our responsibility, of course, and we should not do as well. Yes. And buying a mobile for them, and buying some gadgets for them. So all these are basically not our responsibilities. Okay, so let's go into the quickly what we are not responsible for. Of course, supplying your child with the most expensive, designer clothes, shoes available for them. You give them only the simple necessities for the school, for their living, and make them understand the value of the things, value of the money, and value of importance of the hard work. And the lavish things we should not promote. And though you have so much money, you can also important to educate them. Okay, my dear children, many children, they do not have a single time food. Make sure that you are not wasting your money, your clothes, or your food. So that is how we need to educate them. There are many people, they are in need. We must not just lavishly spend the money. At the same time, spending more money and buying more things, we also make them aware that it is also degrading and environment spoiling. And again, when the children are messing up, so we must make them responsible for tidying up their mess, cleaning up their mess. You should not go and do all that the cleaning work. If they do that, they don't understand. And sometimes if they eat junk foods or something, if they get some sickness, for example, fever or cold, do not give them the medicine. Let their body heals. Let them feel understand what is the pain. And when they know the pain, and if you are giving the tablets, two dangers. One is they lose the immunity, and the second one is they lose the importance of they do not know what is the pain. Even they sometimes they cry. Just bear with it. Be patient. So give enough time for body to heal itself. So let them get the resistance power, and then let them get the immune system well. If you are giving them tablets, even paracetamol or things like that, it's very danger. You are really spoiling your child's immune system and the health. So the most of the problems happens because of the wrong food habits, and the chocolates and chips, all these junk foods, making them to go sick, and that sickness is a problem. So if you are keeping tablets, it's a bigger problem. And when sickness, okay, let them get the sickness and go through the pain, understand this, okay, see how difficult it is, why it happened, explain them. Next time we don't need to struggle a lot to stop the junk. And again, the dropping everything what you do and giving a ride to your child is not correct. And when you have the busy work at home and cleaning work, let them also come and help you. Let them understand the responsibility. And provide your child with the telephone, television, all this we have discussed. And Yeah, and then the giving again exposure and keeping your cupboards filling with all the junk foods and lot of options on the table, it's really bad thing. And one of the dangerous habits children are getting developed is basically eating disorder. Eating disorder is a big problem in this world at the moment. Children are really getting the very big problem, and then they are getting into the danger of the health risk with the serious problems. That is because the many children they are exposed to the wrong food habits, and also the food disorder means not only they just eating wrong, but a wrong way of eating. They just keep on eating. They're like snacking so many times. When they keep on eating without, so once you I digest the previous food, unless you digest the previous food, next food should not go in. So any two cooked foods should have a 4 hours gap. But the people are eating in between, and they are not giving enough water to the body. So that way the body deteriorating, the health deteriorating. So that is why we must make sure that they are getting into the good habits, and do not just keep these the junk foods in your house. No exposure to the junk foods or any chemicals or drugs, which is basically within the house. You try to avoid or clean all the cupboards, make it healthy choices, all the good things. Keep healthy snacks like nuts and dry fruits. All that you can keep. You can keep plenty of food options on the table, but do not keep any kind of cooked foods or cakes or biscuits, chocolates, chips, or anything like that on the table. And you may have the money, but just buying and keeping it in plenty of things, it is a responsibility. You cannot do that. So that is why please do make sure that you are keeping your food basket on your table, nothing else. All your cupboards you can fill with all the whole grains and all the healthy stuff, no junks. That we must maintain, because you want to give the good things. At the same time, you can also give keep them options, very good options, healthy snacks like sesame laddus and the groundnut laddus and dry fruit laddus. There are different things you can make. All these good things you can make at home, very easy things, and give them. And it's simply dry fruits and nuts. It's another very good option. So that way they know all these good things and good healthy practices. Have a timetable, and they maintain. Try to keep that timetable discipline. Like this is a breakfast time, this is a lunch time, this is a food time, this is a dinner time, this is a story time. They make that schedule happen. So that the home schedule, and keep it in on the wall, and once you try to following all that schedule, so once it is in right condition, they themselves will follow that, and they will let you know, yes, it is time for this. They will remind you. So that's the greatness. So it's putting the schedule in place is very, very important. That's not only for the family, but also first start implementing by yourself. Putting the discipline. Again, some the people, they welcome. They try to they conduct the parties, and then for their children, and then they will call all the friends, and they will do it. No, you should not do that. If they want, they take the responsibility. They socialize. They learn the leadership skills, socialization, and if they want, they let them organize. But make sure that you can also ask them, make them responsible to keep the whatever the arrangement they do, not spoiling environment or health. So that is what basic the dharma principles must be understood by you and implemented, and children also must understand. So this way, the what we are not responsible, we are supposed to know this, because this is, sometimes we discuss in our culture. There's a punya and papa. What is papa means? What is adharma is papa. So what is adharma is whatever is whatever we are doing against nature, and whatever we are doing which is causing the harm to the nature, like for example throwing out lot of wastage, and even eating the junk foods is also sinful activity, because it is killing the creatures. So that is why these are against dharma, against law of nature. So that when you understand deeper into that, deeper consciousness, then you can think more like human, and then we can make our children more like humans. So nowadays people are they're missing that track, and they just becoming ignorant and selfish. So from that angle, we must again take out ourselves, think ourselves, what is right, what is wrong, get that discrimination power, and then follow the right path without irrespective of whoever following what, because the world is very, very confused. The people are so ignorant, you cannot just follow someone. So that is why we have to focus on what is our responsibility, what you really want to do, on what your heart feeling. You just put down, calmly think about it. So this is very important for the planning. So as I said, the mother care is very important. Why I put the cow is here is, in our Goshala, I was spending a lot of time with the cows from my childhood as well. So even in Goshala, recently one of the cows is escaped from the whole group, and she was roaming around somewhere. And mother is really literally worried, and then she was searching and finally found, and she has started giving the milk. Such a love and care for the mother, and giving that healthy thing, the quality of the responsible mother is basically, mother must be disciplined. Whatever they walk on the path, basically disciplined, energetic, active, smiling, loving, and kind. This is mother's thing. If mother is irresponsible, the house is going to be a mess. The father is second. The first thing is, mother must be very, very disciplined, and she is the first leader, and she must take the steps to build that discipline within. That is why for mother, before actually pregnancy itself, they have in our culture we have rotas and nomus for the ladies. Why? Because it builds the confidence, energy, and then it builds the discipline. All this discipline comes, and then you can care for the children well. So that is this is discipline you must cultivate, and you must be energetic. For that, whatever needs to be done, yoga sadhana, and good healthy food, and all this good discipline, put it in place. All the cravings, we must get rid of it for the sake of our responsibility. The running around cravings is bad for you, and again, and it is not your path, and you are losing your valuable human life. And mother's work is a great work, and a lot of hard work they are putting. 9 months is a huge task. It's the greatest thing in the world. But if you understand that value, all these cravings will not take much time to sacrifice. What the mother has done is a great job, and sacrificing few little the craving things, it's easy compared to what you have done for a great greatest thing in the world. So that is why all these things, leave it and understand the Shakti. Mother is really Shakti. So that is why understand your real strength and follow it up. So early to rise and the hard working. You always must rise before sunrise. The mother, that's the first quality, very important quality. So you cannot say, I'm very busy, I'm not feeling sick, I'm feeling sick and all. So you have to make sure that you are healthy, fit. For that, whatever needs to be done, you have to do. Not with the medicines, but with the right food and the right discipline and right culture, and with the self-confidence, right mindset. Meditate well and get the confidence, build the Shakti, and all these great techniques you have, the pranayama techniques and all these things you learn, and then make yourself strong. And for the nourishing foods, you learn, eat well, and then become, get all these good qualities of the mother. When mother is getting all that, every magic is in kitchen, nothing else. The kitchen, if mother is great and mother is with these good qualities, house problem is solved. House is 3H, that nothing else. So health conscious, you must be health conscious. You must be very well educated with the healthy habits and well disciplined following, and then keeping the home healthy. That is a mother's another important responsible characteristic. Preparing fresh and healthy food, again with the great love and passion, like a prasada, and treating children with a lot of love, the selfless love. That love gives the actual value in the attitude to the children. If you are giving the love of the Coca-Cola, love of the McDonald's, that is a business love. That is not love. That is basically they're getting the wrong attitude because of these outsourced foods. You're giving the breads and you're giving all these junk cereals, processed cereals. That's not breakfast. Breakfast must be highly nutritious. You cannot just feed them with the high carb, high sugar, these junks. All the cereals, whatever you get, the processed cereals, are wrong. MSG is a great killer. So you cannot give the poison with your hand. The mother gives the amrita, not the visha. So that is why we need to prepare fresh food with the fresh ingredients without any poisonous things, any toxins. That is mother's responsibility. That must happen in the morning. And giving the enough exercise, giving the good the morning, the key habits you must cultivate as part of the day-to-day life. So once you start this, and then children slowly build that the good health, good immune system, and then good attitude. Slowly it builds up. When mother is such a so responsible. Of course, you must be very active and kind. At the same time, you must be a good leader to lead whole family well. So the mother empowers child and cultivating good values and life skills, not just livelihood skills, life skills, how to survive. So that's why you can see the picture of the birds here. So they know how to manage their food, how to make their food, how to what to eat, what not to eat. Everything is learned from the mother. So make children empowered with the right things, with the power of discrimination. Good at preventive healthcare. The preventive healthcare is what the hygiene need to be followed, and what kind of things in the food, and the food as a medicine we can use. All these basics you must understand. For example, when a child is suffering with a cold, so what can you do as a remedy? Like a pepper powder, using in your curries instead of the chili powders, etc. So then you can start giving that kapha dosha will be removed. So that way you need to know what kind of foods are helping to remove the kapha. All these basic healthcare you must understand, and understand the importance of the water, how to cleanse the body in the morning, and how to make sure that weekly how to clean whole body system. All these things you must have a preventive healthcare, and help child to have a daily and weekly stomach cleaning. So this is also part of the preventive healthcare. So daily stomach cleaning is having 2-3 glasses of water, warm water in the morning, and cleaning it. So you must make sure that they clean well. That cleanliness is very, very important. The most of the children are getting the problems because uncleanliness. They are not exactly getting. They are getting up late and they're rushing to the school and they're just eating the breakfast and going. No exercise, no cleaning. That's the problem. They must drink 2 glasses of water, clean the stomach, clean the bowels well, and then do the exercise and eat breakfast and go to school. Until they do all this thing, they are not going to school. That's it. Simple principle you must keep in discipline. So that discipline is very, very important. You cannot neglect this. And you are rushing because you are busy with the office, and then you think that you must send to the school, but that is secondary. The first primary thing is health. So that is why just they try to educate yourself with the circadian biological clock and set your clock properly according to the circadian biological clock, and you know when to rise. Exactly, so that is the time you need to get up before 5 o'clock, so that your lungs are active, so that your lungs will get the exercise at the time. So the before 5 o'clock is the one which you need to start getting up, and then drinking water, and large intestines start working, so that your bowels, your bowel movement happens, you can clean up. So that is where once you clean up and you do the exercise system, all that, and then your stomach is active between 7 and 9. So that is the time for the breakfast. So you must make sure that you give the breakfast at that time. And similarly, all these day routine you need to set according to them. But morning schedule you must not miss these 3 steps, as I said. So getting up before 5 o'clock, cleaning up, and doing the exercise, and giving the nourishment, the good, preparing fresh breakfast, and eating together with the family between 7 and 9 before they're going to school, and then sending them with a good breakfast, alkaline breakfast, good greens, all that. Now, alkaline is very important for the brain, and you are giving the most of the acidic foods, all the processed foods and sugars, everything is acidic. Yesterday we discussed about it. Do not give any acidic foods. All the prepared and processed breads, everything is acidic. So prepare a fresh food, millets, or some kind of the greens and vegetables must be there, and give them good nourishment. And the morning high protein breakfast. And again, evening dinner must be before 7 o'clock. You finish your dinner. And again, kidneys active and all this. You can see the understand the whole the sun movements, how it is impacting our body parts, where it is activating all that you can. So relaxation, early to bed, early to rise. You just maintain the proper schedule for them, and then so all the story time, everything, all the setting your clock and your day schedule chart is very important. So try to do that, schedule yourself. So the key points are this, but before going for that, you have any questions so far? Because we are already 10 minutes. So these are important key points. You can just make a note and make sure that you just at least they put some of the best practices in your house, so that yeah, you can give the best to your child. So the most of the key points are kept in here. So if you want, I can share this slide as well, the key points. So at least you can keep the key points slide and start implementing these key points. So in the next session we'll discuss about the education, and that we will take it as a separate session. But so far, if you have any questions, please do fire about it. So we discussed about the attitude, emotional balance, discussed about health. So these are the key aspects we discussed, but these are the key points I can summarize in this single slide. So yes, you can fire questions. Maybe next 2 minutes I can answer some questions. 2-3 questions are open. Floor is for you. Thank you.
Thank you.